with marriage advocate Mbambo.
Hello and welcome to our channel, Marriage Gone Wrong. In this podcast, this is a platform where we are turning lemons into lemonade. I am your marriage advocate, and I'd like to invite you to sit and enjoy this episode with us. On my way out, I thought before going, I should just stop and share with you what I'll be discussing at the event that I've been invited into. I've been asked to talk about conflicts in a marriage, and I thought before sharing it with others, I can give you a snippet of what I'm going to talk about. What is a conflict? If you can stop and think about the two of you sitting at home trying to agree on something and somebody doesn't agree with your viewpoint. A conflict arises when the two of you are in disagreement. The conflict arises when the two of you are misunderstanding each other. So definitely, when people are sitting and trying to talk and agree on something and the viewpoints aren't aligned and agreeing with each other, there's a conflict. A conflict is a state where one feels offended. There's a conflict. And then again, one other thing, a conflict will start with in your mind. You think about this and you then decide to act physically or verbally. But everything in a conflict, you make that choice. How do I handle what I just had? How do I handle what just happened? That's a conflict. And we are always saying, if you think about it, if you take few minutes, seconds, thinking about what happened, thinking about what has just been said to you, you doing that, it gives you time to make that choice. What am I going to do about what I had? So the choice lies with you after an incident happened to you, after you had something being said. And there are sources of conflict that I want to share with you. The list is long, but I want you to think about the few that I want to mention to you. And at the same time, I want you to go in the comment section and add other sources of conflict that you can think about. One of many is telling lies. If your partner is not telling the truth, definitely, there's going to arise a conflict between the two of you. Why? Because you're expecting your partner to be honest. Here is your partner telling you something else. Telling lies create a problem in a marriage. So there is no need. There is no need. It doesn't make sense at any given time. I know somebody will say to me, no, I'm telling a lie or a twisted truth because I'm protecting the very same person I'm talking to. So the reasons for one not to tell the truth, the fact of the matter is a lie. Whatever you are saying there to protect your partner, whatever you're saying there for your own benefit, the fact of the matter, it is a lie. And when the truth comes out, the two of you are going to have a conflict. People will lie and use dumb excuses, reasoning. You even forget that when you are in the train is using steel wheels. You even say, I had a puncture, the train had a puncture. Because you are trying to hide what you're doing by coming up with a lie. So telling lies in a relationship create conflict. So any of the two of us wants somebody who will tell the truth. So telling the truth, you're avoiding conflict in your relationship. Tell the truth. And somebody will say, can you just tell me the truth the way it is? And then I will decide on what to do with it. Instead of you coming up with a lie and expect me to accept the lie and so forth and so on. Tell the truth. Number 2 on my list is dishonesty. Dishonesty creates conflict. Why don't you just tell your partner what happened? Why don't you become honest? And in this one, I want to bring the element of unfaithfulness. Being unfaithful, then it goes to unfaithfulness, it goes to cheating, infidelity. So all those under dishonesty are creating a conflict in a relationship. You will sit with this person who is not honest, whom you cannot trust. There are people out there whom their partners are even afraid to leave them with children. I can't trust my husband to stay alone with our children. Why? Because I don't have full trust in this man. I don't know what he can do to our girls or our boy child. Because I don't trust this individual. He is dishonest. There are couples where one can give another partner full access to their banking cards because another one is dishonest. You go into the machine, you said you are going to withdraw 500 rand for A, you go and withdraw 1,500 rand because there is this another 1,000 rand that needs to go somewhere else because you are dishonest. So dishonesty results into conflicts. So if you want to remain in a relationship where the two of you are staying in harmony, remain honest to your partner. Practice honesty to each other. The other part that links what I just said, in there, number 3, you need to keep to your word. If you said to your partner, I am going to do 1, 2, 3, please keep your word. Because if you don't, you said you are going to buy your partner a new cell phone for argument's sake. You are going to take your partner out. You are planning a trip to Dubai, whatever. And then here you are not doing that. You now are not keeping to your word. What will happen? If you come to your partner and say, now I can't make that trip. No, I can't buy you the watch I promised you. I can't. You are dishonest at the same time. You are not keeping to your word. And no, you not keeping to your word will result into a conflict. You are going to have a fight because one of you is not keeping to her or his word. The other one is disagreement. That's number 4. If you are not agreeing on anything, that's what I said when I start introducing the topic. If you are not agreeing, definitely you are going to fight. Definitely there is going to be a conflict between the two of you. You aren't agreeing. Some people, a family, are failing to agree on small things. I always say with me, there by my house, I'm making huge decisions, and my wife is making all other decisions. By big decisions, I'm referring to at my house, I'm the one who sit in front of the TV and say, I think it's time now for this Minister of Finance to be changed. Those are my decisions. Then I'll even tell my wife, I think now the minister is not doing well, he must be changed. I make global decisions. I talk about the President of America. I think the President of America needs to be recalled. Those are the decisions that I make. Big decisions. Then my partner will make all the other decisions relating to the house and so forth and so on. So that we always in agreement, so that we don't have all these arguments that are going to cause the two of us to have a conflict in a relationship, in a marriage. Avoid such. Avoid those disagreements. Try by all means at most time to sit and find common grounds. Sit and find something that the two of you can agree on. The other one is a misunderstanding. And I always hear people say, no, this is not what I meant. I wanted to say, you misunderstood what I was saying. But how do we make sure that we don't misunderstand each other? By saying the message, relaying the messages as clear as we can. Have a clear message. If I'm talking about going out, my message has to be clear. I am going out. What do I mean by going out? Is it me and you going out? Is it me leaving the room? That's going out. Me leaving the room, going out where? To the garden outside, going out to the garage. Or I am going out, me and my friends going to have a drink or whatever that we're going to have. So me saying to my partner, I'm going out. And my partner sit there and think, you said you are going out outside. No, I was not saying outside. I was saying outside with my friends. So there are a lot of misunderstandings that arises when people are talking, when people are in a relationship. So what we need to do as a couple, we need to avoid such misunderstanding, and we need to be clear when we communicate. We need to be clear. Communication, we'll talk about it in another episode, but we need to be clear when we communicate. We can't communicate mixed feelings. We can't mix things. We can't be saying something while we mean something. We have to be clear and precise. Your partner needs to understand exactly what you said, so that you don't come tomorrow and say, you misunderstood me. What resulted in that is because I said something that somebody thought meant something. So I have to be clear in my messages. The other one that results in conflict is preferences. Preference is it's right what you're doing, but I will prefer it being done this way. I'm really not saying you are wrong. Yes, you have done what you have done, the way that you have done it, but I prefer it this way. So preferences in a relationship also cause conflict. Why? Because I expected you, which is what I'll talk about in the next one. I expected you to do it. I preferred you to do it this way. If it was me, I was going to do it this way. But now, the way you did it, as right as you think it is, to me, I prefer it the other way. Then we are going to clash. When my partner cooks rice, she'll cook it her own way. She'll either put it in the microwave with water and everything and run the microwave, and within 5 minutes the rice is ready. It's out, ready to be eaten. It's cooked. It's fine. But because it's her preference, here I come also with the way of cooking rice, which is my own traditional way. I put the pot on the stove, I put water in, it boils, I put rice, I stand there, wait for it for 20 minutes, and so forth and so on. But now the two of us have got rice cooked, ready to be eaten. But now my partner will say, no, the way you cook rice is wrong, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's a preference. You prefer to do it this way. Now the conflict arises because of what I prefer. When I drive sometimes, people will even fight and over how one is driving. When I drive, you prefer to hold the steering wheel with both hands. It's a preference. Fine, you're safe. But somebody will hold the steering wheel with one hand and the other hand is there by the window. And they start fighting over that. Why aren't you? Even when the other hand is holding the steering wheel, but why is your elbow on the window? So it's all preferences that sometimes result into people having a fight in a marriage. The last one on sources, the list is long. You can add on the comment list. The other one is this. unfulfilled expectations. People have got expectations in a relationship. I expected you to do ABC, but you didn't do it as I expected you to do it. Then we're going to fight. People fight because I think you have failed me somehow. I expected you to take me out every month, but you are not doing that. Then we are going to have an issue. Then we are going to fight. You are not fulfilling my expectations. Kanti expectations are nicer when we sit and talk about them. What are you expecting from me? Then I can do that. Or the following I can't do. The following expectations that we are having, I definitely will struggle to fulfill. One will come to a marriage expecting that the husband will be here to provide everything in the relationship. Why? Because it is a norm, it's an expectation. When I grew up in my family, my sister got married, and the brother-in-law provided everything, and my other sister also. So it is what I've seen happening in my family. It becomes an expectation. When I get married, I am expecting my husband to do the following. I'm expecting my wife to do the following. It is an expectation. If such expectations aren't fulfilled, we are going to fight. We are going to fight. Because now it's something I came into a marriage thinking and expecting it to be done. Then it's not. In a conflict, there are two ways to deal with, two styles of conflict resolution. How do we resolve the conflict? There are two styles that I want to talk about. There are two types of people in any conflict. One is a resolver, the other one is a hider. A resolver is a person when something happens, he or she wants to rush and deal with it now. When there is a problem, a resolver wants to deal with that now. They don't wait for tomorrow. And I'll tell you the good and bad about such. The resolver wants to deal with, the resolver is the one who says, zidliwa manje, ziphekwe manje, zidliwe manje. There's no tomorrow. I can't go to bed with this. I want to deal with it now. That's a resolver. As good as it is to be a resolver, the danger with such is sometimes you rush in dealing with matters whilst the tempers are too high. That's one other element, the danger there. If you rush into trying to solve it and your partner's temper, your temper is high, then here you are, the two of you up in the sky and fighting over this. And sometimes it helps to give it, I don't know, and 10 minutes, an hour, depending on what it is. Sometimes it helps to give it that little bit of time and say, let me cool down. Let me think about it. Some of these things, they really aren't warranting you to deal and fight over them. You spend some time thinking about it, and then you end up saying, you know what, it's not worth sitting and fighting or talking about it. It was a small thing, can pass it. The second one, I said that is the resolver and the hider. The hider is a person whom will try to avoid every confrontation, any discussion. Why? Because one will think, no, possibly this will just get away by itself. I'm this kind of a person. I don't want confrontations. I better stay away from fights and think something will disappear. And then with the same again, with the hider, if you hide and think the problem will go away, you wake up tomorrow, the problem is still there. That's a danger now. I will say, I'm running away from this. I don't want to deal with it. I'm thinking, Jay, by any chance, my partner will even ignore it. We move. It's standing there. It's an item. It's something that the two of you will have to sit and talk about. So then the two you need to know your partner. Are you a resolver, rushing to solve? Are you a hider running away and waiting? So if in the own relationship, one of you is a hider, one is a resolver, you need to come and say, Mr. Resolver, come out, let's sit. Mrs. Hider or Mr. Hider, come out, let's sit. There are advantages in both being a hider and a resolver. But at the end of the day, you need to sit and talk about whatever the issue is. So being a hider, being a resolver, the two of you need to come. The problem won't just disappear by hiding. And again, the problem will need attention of the two of you. And I always say, family, when I talk about conflicts, I always say a conflict needs you to look at it and think about the 3 Ds that I'm going to share with you. When there is an issue between the two of you, think about the 3 Ds, triple D. The first D is you decide. In a conflict, you decide. That's now the D number 1. What are you deciding? You decide to believe whatever that your partner is telling you. You decide to accuse your partner after telling you what they told you or she told you. So there is a decision that you need to make. And I always say, family, that decision needs to happen within the first 3 seconds after you hearing or seeing whatever that happened. You decide in that 3 seconds. You decide whether you are going to act, how you acting, whether you just say, okay, it's fine, I'm fine. You believe and stop and continue. Or whether you say, I am going, I'm gonna go for him or her. You are going to fight, accuse your partner about whatever, or you stay back and say, I believe you. There's no reason for me to poke holes in whatever that you are telling me. I'm believing you. That's the first thing. So for you to avoid unnecessary conflicts, make that decision. Make the decision. You know, if you take the accusing part, definitely your partner will have to come up also and defend him or herself. But if you decide to be a peacemaker and say, you know what, sometimes I can hear what you're telling me really doesn't make 100% sense. But I'm going to believe you for the sake of peace. Then you become a peacemaker. That's a decision that you have to make when something happened, when you had something. Decide. That's the first D. D number 2, discover. You discover the area of disagreement and you avoid such. Once you know what will make you guys fight, avoid such disagreements. You know it. You have to discover it. And this is the area. This is the place where me and my partner always will get stuck here. Then you avoid such place. You avoid to find yourself talking about that in such a manner. In such a manner. You know your partner is the one of those who wants to go back 5, 10, 15 years and bring back whatever that was done or said then. So you need to avoid anything that will make you guys to go back. You know, if you go back 1 hour, 1 day, your partner can go back 10 years. If you say to your partner, but when I'll call, you know, your partner will say, oh, all right, okay, let's talk about that. What about you? When 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So you avoid such places. You avoid such conversations that will make you disagree in such a way. How do you know? You need to discover and know the area of disagreement in your relationship. And you avoid such. That's the second D. The third D is you determine. D number 3, determine. You determine the moving forward and taking action. You decide and say, all right, I've made a decision. I've discovered the problem. Now, how do we move forward and take action? We know the issue. Here we are. But at the end of the day, we need to move. Determine that. Say to your partner, look, my love, we've been through this. We're talking about it, and it's now, an hour later or whatever time it is. Can we then find a way to move forward? How do we correct this? How do we correct this? Let's take action on that. You know, somebody said to me, my partner is one of those, once we start talking, my partner won't stop. Once my partner starts talking, he or she won't stop. He'll start talking now at 10 o'clock. Continue until 1 midnight. But now, in such, are you finding a way to move forward? No, keeps on going back. We keep talking about what we said, repeating what one said. And the main focus in such is, I want to hurt you more. And the other partner is sleeping there or sitting there quietly and listening to all these painful words being said and everything. There's no need for such. Remember the 3 Ds. Remember the 3 Ds. Practice the 3 Ds. That's how you're going to avoid the conflicts in your relationship. Decide, discover, and determine. Moving forward with our discussion, conflict. And now the other question that I've been asked a lot is, how do I get out of a conflict? How do we get out of this situation? Here we are now, we are in the middle of this fight, we're talking about whatever that is. How do I get out of conflict? And I said to most people, have a safe weight. A safe weight is a weight that in a soccer field, a referee has got a whistle. You blow a whistle, anything that happens after the whistle is being blown doesn't count. So a safe weight is like a whistle in a match, in any match. You blow a whistle, everybody has to stop. So a safe weight is what the two of you will have to agree on. Others will say, our safe weight is enough. That's a safe weight. When I say, my sweetheart, it's enough, it simply says, let's stop. Others will say, my sweetheart, time up. Time up. Or let's stop. That's a safe weight that you are going to use in helping you to get out of this conflict, out of this discussion that is now becoming toxic that you are having. And once the whistle is blown, we are expecting all players to stop. The same applies. Once the safe weight is being used, we are expecting everybody to stop right there. Don't continue talking. The safe weight is being used. It's like you throwing a white towel in a boxing ring. It simply says, stop the fight. So when one partner uses a safe weight, simply the other has to stop. But what does me using a safe weight mean for my relationship? It simply says, my baby, my sweetheart, my husband, my wife, I love you so much. I can't continue hating you. Let's stop. I love you so much. I value this relationship and I want it to work. That's why I'm saying, let's stop right here because I can't continue doing or saying what I'm saying. Simple as that. So a safe word is got a meaning. It says stop. And the safe word secondly says, we better than this. We are much better than what we are doing. We adults, we can handle this in a better way. I respect this relationship. That's what the safe word says. I respect the relationship. I respect you. let's stop and take a break. A safe word says, can we separate for some time? I'll talk about that right now. But can we separate? And while we separate, we are going to regroup. We'll definitely come back and deal with this again. A safe word says can is like in a soccer match when it's half time after 45 whatever rugby soccer match. After that, when the whistle is blown for half time, everybody will go outside. It doesn't mean the match is over. That's what the safe word does. Can we have a half time? Can we stop? The match is not over, but can we stop? We are gonna do something and we'll come back. So during that time out, there are a few things that you need to do. And there are things that you should not do. But let me start with what you need to do. When you have blown the whistle by stopping the toxic conversation that you guys are having, when one partner has said, let's stop. And again, here's one thing. When the partner says, let's stop, it is very important for the two of you to immediately stop. Don't feel like, no, I mean, I'm not done, as I still want to continue. No. Why do you want to continue hating your partner? A safe word says, can we stop? I'm fine. Can we stop here? I've heard you. You heard me. We have spoken. Maybe as we speak right now, I'm also already starting to cry. A safe word says, we stop. Please stop. Like I said, I value you. I don't want the way you are talking to me. I don't want to continue also talking to you the way I'm doing. So after that being said, you both stop. Take time off. Time off says, can I take a bath? Can I go in a shower? That is now your time to go, and while water is coming out, take a 2 hours shower. It's fine until the water is cold. While you're having that long shower, whatever, a bath, it's when you are now reflecting. When you are reflecting, family, you need to start looking in yourself. Because now people are using time out to start regrouping. When I go back, it's wrong. It's wrong. Time out, it's now your time to sit in that shower, in the bath, and you start looking at yourself. What am I doing wrong in this? Time out, it's your time to look at yourself, not your time to go, I'm when I go back, I'm going to fire back. No, it's not. Time out, it's I'm going to go back, correct myself, and make this work. Not I want to go back and destroy more. The other thing that you can do for during your time out, take a walk. Get up, walk outside. If you've got a pet, a dog, take your pet, walk the block, take a walk. Take a jog, have your running shoes on and run. And during that time, again, like I said, it's time to reflect and find the wrong in you. It's the time for you to go in your inner mirror and find the wrong in you. What have I done wrong? What am I doing wrong? Even in this conversation that I'm having with my partner, there should be something wrong. Why are we fighting the way? Why are we dragging this conversation the way we are doing? I'm doing it wrong. Number 3, one thing that you can do. And again, you can add on the comment list. The list can be long. While you are doing that, go out for a car. Take your car. Take a bucket of water. So wash all your cars. Wash your car. Take your shoes. Polish your shoes. Wash the car. Listen to music. Do laundry. Go in there and take that big, even the clean clothes, when take them from the hangers, put them in the washing basket, put them in the machine. Do the ironing during that time. Listen to music. Sit down and put your headphones. Listen to then again in that time you are saying to yourself, there is something I can be better than. the way I was sitting there with my partner. I want to be a better person and I can achieve that. Then during timeout, the timeout is time, your time to reflect. Please, during that time, don't do the following. Again, the list is long, you can add yours. Please don't call your friend. Please don't call your parents. Don't call somebody to lay a complaint. If you call a parent, if you call a friend and say, Tsala, this is what is happening, and then your friend gives you a tips and say, no, your partner is insane. He can't, she can't. You go back after your time up, then you are full. Because now whoever that you're sharing this with gave you tips, gave you ammunition to go and fight. They even remind you of what your partner did 5, 20, 50 years ago and say, now you go back there, you are ready to fight more. You have done a mistake by phoning somebody who then gave you more ammunition, gave you more bullets to go and destroy. But if you are sitting there and looking at yourself, you are going to find fault in you than finding somebody to help you to find fault in your partner. And now again, if you call your family or friend, when you sit with your partner, after you promise them, I'm going to leave him. Now you're sitting there with your partner, you are finding it difficult to stay because you have promised somebody that nyahamba. Even when your partner is talking sense to you, because you have made a promise to your friend or your family that you want to leave. Your partner is sitting there apologizing, no, I'm sorry. You know what, when I was taking a walk, I've realized that I'm wrong. Now I'm sorry. Now, during that, when your partner was working out, when you're busy on the phone, now here comes your partner back, no, sweetheart, I want to apologize. I don't take the apology. I can't take the apology. I mean, I've made up my mind. You are lying. You're busy on the call. Whoever you're talking to on the phone gave you a tip, and then you ended up saying, I'm enough, Mzala, Nyapuma. Can you come and pick me up? Now you're already making such arrangements before you guys finalize the discussions that you guys were having. You have already made up a decision. That is very wrong. That is very wrong. That is very wrong. The other one that we need to avoid during the time out, it's you sitting there and digging old mistakes. If you sit and dig old mistakes, then you come back to your partner and say, now I remember. Now, what are you remembering? I remember more of what happened. I remember more of your mistakes. Now again, you are not standing there and correcting yourself. You are standing there digging and finding out, what else did he or she do? You dig in those mistakes. Yes, you will find those mistakes. But will those mistakes help you to resolve whatever the issue was? No. You are coming back again with more. It's like you're in the garage now, you're going to buy petrol to come and extinguish the fire. No, the fire won't die. Petrol doesn't kill the fire. Petrol doesn't kill the fire. Now you went during your time out, coming back more aggrieved, more angry, more mistakes, more. No, let's not do it. During time out, look at yourself. Do an introspection. Now, a few steps that I want to share with you before I go to the place that I've been invited to. Few steps that I want to share with you on how to resolve a conflict. One, when you stop during time out, when the safe word has been used, agree to a starting time. When you stop that fight now, you agree, when are we coming back? When are we going to continue with this discussion? Say, can we do that in an hour? Can we do that in 2 hours? Can we do that tomorrow? We agree on time to reconvene, come and sit down and start the discussion. That's number one. We agree on that. Time to start. Number two, we agree when we're going to stop that conversation once we start it. it's like you are preparing the agenda for that. I'll give you the third one, which is it linked to that. You agree on how we're going to take it. If you say, can we meet, can we sit back and talk about this at 10? At 10, then simply says, how long? No, can we talk about this for another hour or 2 hours from there? And we stop it. Depending on what it is, can we stop in 2 hours immediately thereafter? So there is a start and an end time. We're starting at 10, we're finishing at 12. We don't want to continue with this until, because we know if we drag it, it's going to hurt. Maybe we'll finish before 12 once we agree and all is done. If not, at 12 we stop. We set up another time. When are we coming back to this discussion? Number 3, what you need to do is, can we have a topic that we are going to talk about? Having a topic means simply say, we are going to talk about. Then we are closing a door for any other conversations that can creep in. We are not allowing any other. You know, when people are fighting and talking, they start fighting over money. We started talking about money. When are you using money? Not right. When are you're talking about money? In the middle of the money discussion comes in the issue of abandonment. Now you're talking about your children. Yeah, even the way you are treating these children. How? When did we move from talking about the budget? Now we're talking about how I treat the children. Now you move, even the way you hate, how you hate my family. We were talking about money. Now you brought in children. You are now talking about how I dislike your family. And now you talk about how unfaithful I was 5 years ago. How did we get there? We were talking about money. Now, when we end the conversation after 4 hours, we are talking about how untrustworthy I am, how this, how that I am. So having a topic means simply say, we are going to sit down and talk about this. We are going to talk about this specific topic at a set time with an end time. So you're drafting an agenda for a meeting. We are going to start at 10. We're going to talk about money. We're going to stop at 12. Done. And in that meeting, we are going to discuss the problem. You are going to now when I say we discuss the problem, we are not going to discuss individual. There is a principle that I always advise couples to use during conflict. Find what the problem is and talk about that. If your partner smokes and there is a bad smell of cigarette, and the problem when you guys are sitting in a car and there is this unpleasant smell of cigarette, when you talk about the problem, I say externalize the problem. Externalize the problem. What is the problem? The problem is not you, my partner. The problem is the smell of cigarette. I don't smell. You don't hate me. But what you don't like is the smell of cigarette. So that's what the problem is. There's bad smell, an unpleasant smell of cigarette in you, in your clothes. That's what I don't like. So now once you start externalizing the problem, you will be able to come to the next one, which is now, how do we go to the solution, which is now empowerment. Now, when we sit and find a solution, which is when you are empowering me, you will say, my darling, every time after you smoke, here are the sweet hulls. Keep them with you. Every time after you smoke, you take this one, you suck, you take a gum, you start eating. Now you're empowering me so that I know on how to deal with the problem. You give me a solution. You are empowering me. Why? Because you have externalized the problem. I am not the problem. The cigarette, the smell of cigarette is a problem in me. Now, once I know, we identify the problem, we can then work together on a solution. Now you need to empower me. How can I overcome such a problem? We talk about that solution. So in such gathering, in such meetings, we need to agree and find a solution together. Empower me to find a solution. And like I said, if then we stop at 12, we haven't reached the agreement, we then need to agree on a follow-up time. When are we coming back again? When are we sitting to talk about this again? It's a follow-up time. So all that, family, it's how we need to resolve the problems that we have. Now, how we need to deal with the conflict, how to avoid a conflict, how to handle the conflict, and which steps to take while you find yourself in such a situation, in such a condition where the two of you are finding it difficult to handle your own conflicts. There is no need for one to use bad words, hating words. You stop at one point, you find something, you sit there and say, no. I love you more than this conversation. I love you more than the fight that we're having. There is no need for us to fight. Why are we fighting? Why? There is no need for that. Now I love you more than this. Let's sit down and sort it out. Let me go back, because we always say it takes two to tango. Go back and say, me now, what wrong am I doing? And I always say, family, there is no way you can go to your mirror and while trying to correct yourself on the mirror, you see somebody. It doesn't happen in natural life. You can't go to your mirror and while you are there and you go like, who's this one on my mirror? Then it's a ghost, and then you'll even run away. Once you go to your mirror to correct yourself and you're finding it difficult, you start seeing somebody, then that mirror is wrong. You are doing it wrong. You need to find yourself. It takes two to tango. You are also at fault. You are also at fault. It really doesn't matter what your partner has done. Firstly, look at yourself. Ask yourself, what was my contribution in this? What have I done? What is my role in this? What have I done? I'm not saying in all cases you say, oh, maybe my partner is unfaithful because Menandi. No, sometimes it applies. Sometimes it applies. But in most cases, once you start looking inside, you will find a problem. You correct it from inside. It's easy. Start with the man on the mirror. Start with the woman on the mirror. Correct that for a marriage to work. But if you start pointing fingers and say, he is, she is, then you are forgetting the biggest role player in these problems, yourself. So in every conflict that you are having, think about that. Look at the one on the mirror and let's deal with it. Let's correct the person on the mirror. So master the art of using time out, the safe word. Master, know the safe word. If you don't have a safe word now in your relationship, I'm begging you, sit down with your partner and find a safe word. Know yourself. You know that once you start talking, you've got bullets you had. But if you can't apply the safe way, you know, until my partner started crying, I won't stop. Where is love? How do you say you love somebody if you want to see that person crying at all times? And I always say, family, once you are a reason for your partner to cry, I do an introspection. Go deeper. Go deeper, Papa. Go deeper, Mama. Look at this person. The other one is crying, and then you're sitting there thinking, I know, you are the cause. You are the cause. So me saying that, family, I would like to remind you, like I said, I've been invited, I'm going out. I wanted to share this quickly with you in this few minutes that I've shared. I'm saying my time with you now is up for today. But please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for you to be able to get all the additional episodes that we'll be loading. We need you. Become part of our family. Subscribe to our channel. Be part of this family. We can't grow without you. We need you. And lastly, subscription is very free. Somebody asked me how much we pay. No. To subscribe, you don't even need to put your banking details. No. It's very free. Go and subscribe to our channel. You'll be notified, and you're going to help this channel to grow, and we'll be able to bring you more of this content, more of this discussion at all time. With me saying that, I will see you in the next episode, and I would like you to keep warm and stay safe and take care of your partner. Until next time, cheers.
Marriage gone wrong. Marriage gone wrong. Let's talk about
With marriage advocate Mba